We will now work on the last question of this test. This is from Fall 2011 Math 227 Test 1, number 15. The following Venn diagram describes the number of students taking math, English and PE courses at a college. Now you will leave your answer in simplified fraction. There were 200 students in total. Now let's take a look on this Venn diagram. A little note that the fact that they told us that there were 200 students in total is actually a gift. This is not necessarily given, yet you still can find it from the Venn diagram. Okay, now let's start. For the first part, suppose one student is randomly selected from the college. Find the probability for part A. Find the probability that that person is either taking math or taking English. Now notice that this probability is not a conditional probability, so we know right away that the denominator will be the total number of students we have in this Venn diagram, which is 200. Now, how many students taking either math or English? Now, there are a lot of numbers there. Let me use my calculator to compute it. I will first compute the number of students taking math. That's 39 plus 43 plus 16 plus 23. This is the number of students taking math. Now, beside those students taking math, we also count the number of students taking English. Notice that I will not add 43 and 16 anymore because it's already counted in the math. Okay, I will just add 26 and 18. This will be the number of students taking math or English. That's 165 over 200. Okay, which if I reduce by 5, if I reduce this by 5, that will be 40. And if I reduce this by 5, that will be 33. Okay, now that's for part A. Part B, find the probability that if we pick one person at random, select one person at random, find the probability that that student is taking English class given that student is taking PE class. Now let's see how many students taking PE class. The number of students taking PE class, let me clean this up, will be 18 plus 18 plus 16 plus 23. Okay, 18 plus 18 plus 16 plus 23. That's the number of students taking PE class. There are 75 students. Now, out of those students taking PE class, how many of them taking English? Let's see how many of them taking English. Out of this PE, the number of students taking English are the sum of these two, which is 34. Okay, I don't think we can reduce that further. Part C. Find the probability if you pick one student at random. What is the probability that that person is not taking PE class? Now, I think we compute earlier the number of students taking PE class, right? Now, so to find the probability students not taking PE class, it will be 1 minus the probability that that students taking PE class, right? Of course, you can also do it this way. You count everything outside of this PE class. Okay, you can do it that way. Or you can also do it this way, the complement idea. This is 1 minus probability that the students taking PE class. If you remember from the computation we have earlier here, do you see that? The sum of students taking PE classes, PE class is 75. That will be 75 out of 200. This will give us 125 over 200, which reduced to be reduced by 25, this will be 8 and this will be 5. Okay, now if you think about this, we can actually do it another way. We just compute how many people, how many students actually not taking PE. So basically what I can do is to add all these 4 numbers here, which is outside the PE circle, right? Now if I add those numbers, I expect to get 125 students out of those 200 students in this Venn diagram. Let's confirm. If I add 26 plus 43 plus 39 plus 17, 26 plus 43 plus 39 plus 17. You see, there are 125 students not taking PE class out of 200 students. Now part D. When you find the probability that given a student taking PE class, find the probability that that student is not taking English class. How many students taking PE class? We remember we did it here. The number of students taking PE class is 75. Now, out of these 75 students taking PE class, out of those 75 students taking PE class, how many of them not taking English? So we are talking about the parts outside of the English circle here, outside of the English circle but still inside the PE. Okay, if we add those two numbers, we will get 41 out of 75, and we can leave it like that because it's already in simplified version, simplified fraction. Now let's move on to part E, F and G. The question here is, suppose 2 students are randomly selected from the college without replacement, means you can consider that you do it one by one. Find the probability that both of them taking English. Now, well, what we can do is, let's see how many students taking English. I think we computed this earlier. Let's do it again. How many students taking English? 26 plus 43 plus 16 plus 18. That's the number of students taking English class. So the first student I choose, the probability that it is a student who takes English class is 103 out of 200, multiplied by the probability that the second student that you take also that you select also taking English class, that will be 102 over 199. Okay, now if I multiply this and reduce, because we want to leave the answer as a simplified fraction, I can cancel this, reduce by 2, this is 51, and this one is 100. It will be 19900 on the denominator here, and the top, I don't think I can do it mentally, let me use calculator. That will be 5253. Okay, now that's for part E. Part F, what is the probability that both of those students not taking math? Well, think about how many students not taking math. Well, how many students taking math to start with? How many students taking math? Let's compute it first. That will be 43 plus 39 plus 16 plus 23, right? 43, 39, 16, 23. This is the number of students taking math. Now, how many of them not taking math? That's 200 minus 121. There are 79 students not taking math. So the probability of the first students not taking math is 79 over 200 times the second students not taking math will have the probability 78 over 199. Okay, Again, from here you compute it. I think we can cross cancel here. Reduce by 2. Reduce this by 2. This is 39. So we will have 19900, and then on the top that will be 79 times 39, which is 3081. Okay, now let me show you again the picture up there. If you want to see how many students taking math, that's how I add them. Okay, now last one, part G. Find the probability that at least one taking PE. Probability that at least one taking PE is 1 minus the probability that none of these two students taking PE. Okay, which is equals to 1 minus how many people not taking PE, by the way. We have computed earlier there were 75 students taking PE, so there were 125 students not taking PE. Now, so what is the probability that the first one not taking PE? It's 125 out of 200 times the second person not taking PE will be 124 over 199. Okay, let me reduce this first. This is 5 over 8, 124 over 199. I believe I can reduce by 4 here. If I reduce by 4, that will be 5 over 2. Reduce by 4, that will be 31 up on the top here, which is equal to, I hope I still have the space, that's 1 minus 151 over 398. Okay, now then I do the LCD thingy. That's 398 over 398 minus 151 over 398. That's equals to 247 over 398. Okay, I hope I do my math correctly. Well, anything after this is actually a computation. Okay, now that's for this question number 15.